So, um, we're gonna go launch the space thing, and we're gonna see what happens. Base is kind of cool. Remember we built like train stations and stuff at the far edge of everything? This is one of the lines that went into the island to go get resources. And in the end, our bus went all the way down here. There's 2 and 3 floors for some of this. But yeah, we have a whole bunch of train stations, all kinds of fun stuff. But let's make sure we have the the thing that we need. Gonna hop on a train and we're gonna complete phase 5 and we're gonna complete the last milestone. I need 200 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Ah, God! That just hit me. I'm amazed that those have any collision whatsoever. I really just put down a train. Have that take me there. Oh, there's no train that's gonna kill us. Take me to Big Bill Hills. Yeah. Oh, you can make it bigger. Dang. Oh, well, I didn't want to make it bigger like that. Shoot. How do I make it bigger? Edit the to-do list. Somehow we made it disappear. I'm gonna eat food while I wait. This reminds me a lot of World of Warcraft because I built this massive. Like anytime I want to travel from place to place, like it sure is easier to do it when I have a thing that travels. Okay. The game gets very confused when biomes change too. So, as far as like yay or nay on this game, it's still hard for me to recommend. Like, if you want the 3D experience, you did a good job with that. All of them, there's just so much frustration when it comes to being able to easily copy and like repeat very basic tasks without having to have really regimented blueprints that don't fit. And I learned that the way that they put it in the game, like it was added after, so like some of these things were kind of patched in, which is why they're kind of janky. I don't know. I'm curious to explore a little bit more, but not without as much of this heavy focus on building and stuff. Like I would really not, unless I had like blueprints that made a lot of things very easy to do and repeat. I wouldn't be interested in like a Bob's Mods or Angel's Mods of this. But it was kind of cool riding my train networks and stuff. But it was pretty cool riding them in other games too. But the 3D thing can't be ignored, but it also makes the train stuff a lot easier to do in terms of minimizing intersections, even though it just, in the end, it really probably didn't really matter. If we go for this achievement my friend is going for, which they're like there, and they went so hard on this game. It's so good. And they actually went and built real blueprints, which I think is what a lot of players that really get into this would like to build. But anyway, they definitely can make more points a second than I can. All I can do is just leave the game on and get more tokens. Here we go. We're gonna see what happens here. As we dump. Isn't there an entrance on this side too? We're about to see whatever this game is about to make us do. Here's 200 of those. Oh, it's back. There you go. I don't know how I turned you off. There's 200 of those. Oh no. Did I really not grab the bio? Oh, okay. Get him in. Have to wait for more of them. Meanwhile, you can go grab. We can go get the blueprint thing unlocked and maybe get an achievement for it. I don't know.
Milestone reached.
All the
Blueprint
milestones.
Designer Mark III allows for 20% increased blueprint size in all dimensions, for an overall 71.2% increase in volume. Sadly, I doubt we will see equivalent increases in your efficiency.
Well, that's that guy. Oh dear. Am I really short nuclear pasta too? Well, I can go back and just pick up more. But I do appear to be short 50 nuclear pasta. Unless I can just make them here. Now, by the time we wait, we may as well just go back and doo. It's gonna take so long to get there. am I waiting for? It's going to be a minute before we get back to... This whole area was a mistake. There's extra signals in here. It does get you around, but it's not ideal. But we're going back for more nuclear pasta and the bio AI thing. Yeah, one thing I learned is their thing breaks going into path signals like that with the block signal in front of it, so never do that. And this entire lane was a terrible idea, basically. Ant, it's happening, Ant. We're gonna launch the missile. I don't know. We have to go back to the main base. So we get another look at everything that we built. We might revisit this game, but I've been writing shows. I might be writing shows this afternoon more. And wait, there's an achievement for getting 1,000 tickets that Fergus is better get before I can. The only way is if they actually do real work and other things, and don't just leave the game on, because I think they have like 700 or so tickets. Oh, I've already played that. The game's quite good. You can kind of do whatever you want in it. It's kind of cool. No, we're probably not really going to start anything new. I'm feeling okay, but I mean, like, I have the surgery in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 weeks. I got an event in 2 weeks, and the surgery's in 4 weeks. So it's probably going to be pretty quiet. Outer Wilds DLC needs to get finished. I have some database puzzle game, root trees, blueprints. I would like to get back to Front Mission 3 in Saga Frontier, which means I have to finish Front Mission 1 in Gun Hazard. Here we are. Here's the big build. Actually, this we don't actually need to travel all the way out there. I mean, we can and have it turn around, but what I need is right here. Why is nothing running? Oh, we ran out of rocket. That's fine. Yes, give me many of these. Okay. Now, where's the nuclear pasta? We ended up building like 30 uranium plants. That was kind of cool. Those are pressure cubes. Those are not. Please don't tell me we burnt all of them. Okay, we did kind of burn all of them, but I only needed 50. But yeah, what do you think, Ant? Big bus. You got some drones flying around. If I had to build more battery, I would. Um, there's a whole bunch of fluids and aluminium that's under. Oh wow, you're still going, huh? Glad we built over the ocean thing because the water is a lot easier. This is what builds aluminium. We probably have more aluminium than most people make in the game. We have, not just at this base, there's like 5 sets of max belt that gets turned into aluminium. We had all kinds of issues with fluids. One of my big complaints about this game is that the fluids don't work correctly. Um, I've had I ended up having to make this. Oh yeah, you told me about the Zulfarak or whatever, the boss. I ended up having to make this monstrosity because this is the only way that seemed. I had to have some type of like U-trap type pipe. So this is the pipe that feeds water, and these things produce water as an output. So the water that's recycled needs to get used up so it doesn't block the that comes back. And then I have added water because we lose a little bit, but I also can't like crazily control this water. I had valves on it and stuff, and it just all the rounding errors that seem to happen don't help. So this device, for some reason, this bottom pipe always feeds first, or at least seems to, unless it gets screwed up somehow, which it just seems to happen. And then this one on top only feeds water if the bottom one is deficient or like it has space. Yeah, play it once, Ant. I want to see you play this. I played random in retrospect. It would have been fun, but not as. I mean, if all of the ores were impure, it would be a little bit more challenging. It's just the UI sucks. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's the same problem. Like you enjoy games like Ark and stuff where you have to manually build a lot of things. I don't. I really don't like manually putting things together. I need to get to my train before the world stops. Um, we will have it like a train. Well, we could just pen it back down. But there it's a sort of a Pal World exploration aspect to it that is pretty fun. I do think that's a pretty good benefit in this game, but it suffers the same problem that oh no. We haven't had a save. On bitch. I don't know if the game has a bug involving train crashes, so this derailment, I don't know if it's going to break the game, but we already grabbed our stuff, so I'm just going to continue trying to finish the game. For some reason, I don't know. It's probably because I was picking stuff up, and that's really funny that we had no save during that entire sequence of time. Love Pete, man. Can you pass me? Let's try this again. What's funny is you can actually make portals. At this point, I have access to portals that just require a bunch of electricity. But anywho, so yeah, so the game, it's just the other thing that's really annoying about this game is it's very, very difficult in the bounds of the game, and even just like writing scratch notes to do ratios, and essentially the thing you have to do, um, like part A and B goes into part C, how much you need of part A and part B, and how much saturation on the line and stuff. So I basically had to do a lot of the numbers. Everything was just done by hand. My friend has an entire spreadsheet of a whole monstrosity that can do the whole, just everything, and it's really cool what they did. But just in terms of like just being able to just kind of play the game, and just I want to look at one production line, and the way that they set up the codex, there's many different recipes to kind of achieve the same thing, and it's very difficult because by default they show you, and I can't. You'd think that when you're sitting here on the train, you could just look at recipes, but none of those buttons work when you're in a vehicle. So, but it'll show in the recipe like how much goes into making one unit. Just well, not like Captain of Industry because they changed it, but like the production rate isn't every 60 seconds. The production rate is like maybe for something 12 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever, and it shows you the cost by default of how much it costs to do one cycle, when you really only care in this game about how much is used per 60 seconds, because everything has to come to the same denominator at the end of the day, because you're always going to end up putting stuff almost every time into the next thing. So yeah, yeah, I have to click on it, and now it's too big. And a lot of the recipes that you go, like, it was really cool to go and explore and get these hard drives that unlock recipes, and you get to kind of go, and you get to pick from two different unlocks, and you can re-roll it once. But the problem with it is that, like, you might unlock, for instance, like, instead of making limestone into concrete, and you lose a third, like it costs 45 limestone to make 15 concrete. Well, you can unlock different recipes, but now you have to like do extra work to just get more from your limestone. And by extra work, I mean, well, now you need to use 20 rubber per 60 per minute, and now we'll give you a better exchange rate. Basically, we'll give you 2/3 of that limestone, but you're also spending 20 rubber. So it's like, well, unless rubber's free to you, this one recipe doesn't really do a whole lot for you unless you're willing to do this thing that you don't have a blueprint for, that requires more steps of feeding lines and things in, just to get this benefit that isn't, at the end of the day, I could just go get more limestone, because you'd have to be really, really mega basing to go after all of the limestone in the game. So okay. And then but the other one that unlocks is wet concrete. So you can basically make the same limestone into concrete, but add water, which requires a completely different machine. And at this point in the game, I want to put the power slugs in, which it lets you get increased production for what you're doing. And the problem with the power slugs is that it raises the amount of power that it requires to run the thing. Well, regular concrete just requires a constructor. Regular constructor just requires 4 megawatts of power, and if I put in the good stuff, it raises it 250. Okay, so 250 would make it like 9 or 10 megawatts. Okay, so 9 or 10 megawatts. But if I want to make that same kind of loosely the same amount of concrete that I think now has to go through a refinery. Be a refinery? Nope, it's not the refinery one. So you can't make it into constructor anymore. It has to be made in, I think, a blender. Maybe it's in a blender. No, it's not in a blender. That's the other thing, is it's very difficult to know what building these things go in. But they basically all have their own base rate, right? What does it even go in? Wet concrete, huh? Converter? They can't go in. Oh. Here's the issue that I'm talking about. Um, like wet concrete, limestone. It wasn't a refinery. Uh, but you see here, so like this one shows the rate, but if by default, they don't start expanded. So like this doesn't help you at all. It just says it makes 90. But if you click this, then it shows you what you really need to know is the 100 per minute and all that. But this requires water, which is a whole bunch of effort, and you get 2/3 from the limestone instead of 1/3 as you do here. That's like, okay, that's a lot of extra effort, and if you aren't in an area that has a lot of water or just that's easy to set up. But here's the real thing. Here's the real kicker that I'm like, I have no interest in doing that unless I was that desperate for, or oh, I don't have the recipe. Okay, I'll just show you then. I'll just make anything. One refinery costs 30 watts. If I make it cost 250% for the clock speed thing, now I'm looking at like 80 megawatts or so for one of these compared to 10. It uses 8 times as much power, which is just I don't understand what unlocking the recipes does in a lot of cases. Many of them are just pointless. So I feel that there should be the recipes. Maybe the recipes should have a different power quotient for things, but the reason the power is screwed up has to do with the way that like you can't have the refineries only use like 5 megawatts for coal power because then you'd basically be making free energy. It's not. I get why that doesn't work, but it was something that just kind of seemed to miss. Big launch. Hopefully the game's not broken from that train crash. And I'm going to go outside. Assuming this is the other. It can't. Why can't you? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You get to, things like to get stuck on the ends of belts. There are other games that have that problem too. They are loading in. This is the big launch. Something cool will probably happen in the sky. I don't know. Watch there be another phase that we aren't like done quotes. Secures the load. And then here we go.
Unsurprisingly, here's another presentation, but don't worry, I have improved it. This last delivery will be the most important action you have ever taken. Perhaps you want to take a moment to contemplate the gravity of your achievements. Alright, that's enough. This is the end of the Save the Day program. All you need to do is wait for the automated Phase 5 construction to complete. Simply throw the lever and further instructions will be supplied when relevant.
Let's see it. We have finished the game according to Steam. Thanks for spoiling it, Steam. Beat the champ.
Phase 5 completed. Return to the space elevator after the resources have been processed and added to Project Assembly. Launch can then be initiated from there. While waiting, please do not break anything. Solve any issues immediately and efficiently. Ensure your power network is stable. Perhaps it is best if you do not touch anything at all. And stay close to the space elevator. This will only take a moment.
Anything else going to happen? Oh, we just launched. Wipe the windows. Oil checked. Eat the seats. I don't know, hit it. Oh. Wow, there's legit credits. Really? Let's see what's about to happen. Or we're just gonna blow it up.
Initiating project assembly. Assembly. Attaching cargo to main body. Leveling inner and outer rings. Attaching propulsion to main body. Fuel lines connected. Attaching control center to main body.
The biomes were pretty cool in this game.
Running systems check. All systems online. Releasing propulsion cage.
I like the character
Releasing
this
clamps.
character that they voiced. There was a lot of
Running pre-launch checks and calculating
silly
flight path.
computerness. Not the same, but reminiscent.
Locking in
to
cargo.
Portal. Computer woman from Portal.
Launch in T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Liftoff.
Of course it blows up. Oh, maybe that's just the engine, actually. Just the engine, never mind. So let me guess, now that that's there, do we just get points or something for making more of them? Oh, it's making a wormhole. Wow. Wow. That it? Wow, our purpose is concluded. Damn. We have no further purpose. Whoa! Did we save the day?
QAR 437 nucleus established and stable. Dispersion initiated. Reinstancing master nucleus to QAR 436 Akicha B1. Hello, this is Ada, your new local instance of Ada. On behalf of Ada, myself, and all of Fixit, I want to congratulate you on saving the day. Every single kitten and puppy would thank you if they could. You have proven yourself to be a worthwhile and productive member of the human race, and have contributed something to this universe that will forever change it. Thanks to your achievements, the next generation of pioneers can now take to the stars and construct, automate, explore and exploit, alongside me. Additionally, you have been promoted to local production manager, effective immediately. Your duties to project assembly may be complete, but your duties to fix it remain. With your help, Fix It continues to make the universe a better place. Stay efficient. Stay with Fix It.
Whoa, we're gonna get halvesies credits? How many people were required to make this game? About 21 coders. I don't know if there's any repeats, but like looks like about 25 people on the. Oh, that was just the other direction. Add another 25 coders. Music was very good. There's a shop in the game that you can buy a bunch of music. Now, the game does need a music control. It doesn't have that. I just had to turn everything down. Wish I had my boombox. We'd be playing the Goat simulator music. But yeah, I like that the world is sculpted. And like it's not so much randomized. It works well for this. The part where it maybe doesn't work so well is that the enemy AI is not. The enemy AI is it's exploitable in a fun way. So I'll give it that. But in terms of like if I wanted the world to be challenging, it poses the same problem that a lot of open world games have. Like it's not a heavy combat. It's not even Pal World in terms of combat simulation. But it is fun to throw grenades at things and to fly above them and drop like bombing runs of grenades on them. That was kind of cool. And there's a lot of other ways to. There's lots of cheeky ways to handle the enemies. So the fact that you can do interesting ways to handle the enemies and different ways to handle the enemies um, was fun. But yeah, just in terms of like we've been over it many times. I mean, I don't think you're ever going to be captain of industry for what it is. I mean, it is the best version of this type of game by far. If you know, if you want to deal with like the resource challenges and easy blueprinting and really being able to focus on the macroeconomic situation. Whereas this is super micro. Everything about this is super micro, and a lot of my dev fur babies. Oh, yeah, pets were a thing in this. If you turn on the arachnophobia mode, it's actually more jarring than having the spider enemies on. They turn into large JPEGs of cats, and they meow everywhere, and it's very scary. Uh, but yeah, in Factorio, one of the things I was surprised this game didn't have is there's no circuitry. The only types of circuits you ever unlock are programmable splitters that let you control overflow. So one of the frustrations with fluid controls, I'm like, you don't have any way to just dump the water back into the water, or to just burn it somehow, or to just turn something off when the amount in a reservoir is less than a certain amount. You have no circuitry or any type of logical controllers whatsoever. So the only thing you have is just that the programmable splitters that lets you basically pick what gets filtered. So you just have what in Factorio would just be a splitter, and you can choose what gets filtered. Um, Surprisingly, the game didn't start chugging too hard until we got to the very end here. And really when it was just auto-saving and such. Do we get any other messages, or is that just it? We have to go out into the world and find more stuff to get more messages from Ada. Yeah. Purpose complete. This was one of the funnest things, though. It's surprising in the game certain things have collision detection, such as this, where we get blasted, and we're clearly been electrocuted. Our feet. You notice our feet even do the. We're getting electrocuted. We get shocked. Unless it's just like we're still stuck in the walk animation. I don't know. So now everything turns to dumping everything into. Dumping everything to get token points. See if we can get to 1,000. Do I still have the boombox on me? I don't. We'll grab my boombox. The boombox. I mean, they did think of a lot of things in this game. The boombox is very usable. It can be used as a weapon. You also can have a coffee cup. I don't know what I did with my boombox though. My boombox is gonzo. Is it in the? I did not put it in there. Not here. Uh-oh, I may have lost my boombox. I'm too cheap to spend 3 more tickets for it. Oh, I may have put it in my. I did. Here you go. We can change the tape. Oh, there is a volume button on it. Wow. Has this in it? This is your own little room you get to put stuff in. Well, you can like change your outfits and stuff. Dang. I get 1,000. I'm too used to playing Slingo from Second Life. Oh, you lose the bonus outright. Okay. The goat music. Dang, not even enough. There you go. That's the game. There's a little llama. No, I probably can't even run it. You have a little companion cube in here. You do have a microwave, a blender. Oh, there's socks. It's like your little wardrobe too. The coffee machine does not appear to be working. I love the little guy. But you can also pick up the boombox. Also play with that. It's kind of cute. Days since last incident. I didn't notice that, and my guess is that that's actually accurate for how many times you get bopped. Like last time you got bopped in the game. But there you go. That is we'll have to revisit this offline more. Get this 750 more coupons. Every time that you, because basically burning stuff that you make gives you points towards coupons, and every time you get a coupon, it increases the cost to get the next coupon. And we can probably boost it a little bit with these DNA point things. Those come from killing enemies. I don't think you can produce them any other way. This is the little shop. You can actually buy resources, but they're obviously quite expensive. But we did use it very early on in the game to get the train stuff unlocked, and for some reason, yet again, another game that doesn't give you the signaling with the stuff. But there's all kinds of stuff in here that you kind of need for the game. You can also buy hard drives, apparently. But this is what we're after, is the golden nut. Bunch of we can enjoy more content here, but this is what we need. Because you can buy the signs, there's all kinds of stuff that you can get. We bought a lot of it. Wait, what? Huh? Oh man, I might have to buy this. I might have to get the. Okay, I've been conned into spending a ticket. I've been conned into spending one of my coupons on the mug. Oh dear. Yeah, I have to add it to the cart. We didn't really use a lot of this. A lot of this stuff is kind of useful because it lets you, like, lock stuff onto stuff. We bought the ones that gave us kind of the most of that. Yes, there is. Of course there is.
You are now the proud owner of the Employee of the Planet Cup, only available to Fix-It pioneers who saved the day. This cup was created after extensive research produced a substance that has the appearance of gold without actually being gold. It is almost certainly non-toxic. Note, you have been automatically enrolled in the Not Gold Toxicity Testing Program. The paint may be flammable. Please inform us if, when using this cup, you experience discomfort, poisoning, spontaneous combustion, or death. Thank you for your cooperation.
Yep, you can sip it. I was hoping you could, like, throw hot coffee on your enemies, but I had to live with this. You still can't use the coffee machine. All right. That's. Oh no, is Toad back on? Toad's not La Mulanaing yet. Good. Worried for a moment. Hello. Yo. So, I think that's all we have to see for now. And good time to take a break. Plugman is playing Persona 5.